We on? We're on.
You guys are on.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Four Stacks Beer Show. I'm your host, Nathan Hangen. You can find me on Twitter, Insta, Snapchat at nhangen. This is my co-host, Mike Fry, otherwise known as Frey All Day. You can find him on Twitter, Insta. Are you on Snapchat?
No.
Not yet. You're not cool.
I'm definitely cool, just not Snapchat cool.
And so this is it. This is the inaugural show. Mike, are you pumped?
I am livid pumped right now.
I can tell.
Yeah,
I can see it in your
I'm
face.
like jumping out of my skin pumped.
So the format of the show is basically we're going to review sort of our guest tap spotlight. In this case, it's a Stone Citrusy Wit. We'll talk about one of our latest releases. In this case, it's Dr. Smash Pale Ale. And then we'll do a little, we've got a little game later on for you, so stay tuned for that. So let's start with the Stone Citrusy Wit. It looks like it's tangerine and kaffir lime. Do you know what a kaffir lime
I
is?
have no idea. I'm going to assume it's some rare fruit that no one's ever heard of until just now.
Definitely cloudy.
Yeah.
Interesting. I imagine that's from the fruit.
Really good in the nose.
What do you
I want
smell?
to say the lime leaf is what I'm getting most out of everything. It has a peppery kind of flavor to it.
It's almost like a saison yeast, or
Yeah.
To me, like a traditional wit beer, I think like Belgian flavor or a little bit of coriander and fruit zest.
You know, a lot of the ones that I normally have will have some sort of fruit in it to kind of pick it up a little bit, because just a regular wit beer on its own is going to be pretty bland, I guess.
This to me is what I would call a non-traditional wit, and I guess that's sort of what Stone does.
The nose is what I'm assuming more where the tangerine is coming out, and that's what
I
they're
don't
saying.
taste a lot of tangerine, but I do maybe get some tangerine peel, some
Yeah.
zest. You know what I like about this a lot is that it's dry. It finishes really dry, so
Yeah.
that it doesn't have like a residual sweetness or like
Yeah.
a residual fruit flavor.
Yeah, it doesn't sit.
As far as Stone goes, this is sort of different. They do a lot of IPAs and dark beers. For them, like this seems like a departure from what they normally do.
Yeah.
Compared to some of their even IPAs, I think this is a good offering. Is it something I guess that I would drink all the time? I'd say if we're untapped, let's do untapped stars. Untapped rating.
I would give this a solid 4. I mean, this is really good for them. I mean, again, Stone stepping out of the comfort zone, really, and doing a wit beer instead of, like you said, a normal IPA, porter, just like a barley wine or a double IPA or some of the other bigger names that they have. This is definitely something outside of their comfort zone. So if this is something they had at their bistro, apparently it was really, really good enough for them to mass produce it.
Oh, I see. What do you think the character from the lime leaf? What do you think it would give?
I think that's where we're getting the pepper from. I don't think we're getting that much from the yeast. I think we're getting more of the pepperiness from that lime leaf itself. Because normally if you're an herbivore like myself, you chew on leaves. And sometimes there are leaves that do give off pepper flavors. It happens.
So you're like you are a true caveman.
I'm
foraging and
yeah, why not, man? How do you think my grass gets cut?
You chewing it?
I'm literally
You're
grazing every afternoon. So
that takes a lot of work.
yeah, it does. Well, real man. So,
Yeah.
but no, the lime leaf I think is where you get a lot of the pepper from, and I think that's the most pronounced thing. I think the tangerine is really just sitting in the nose, which, I mean, as you're drinking a beer, the first thing you're to do is you're putting it up to your face, is you're going to end up smelling it, whether you want to or not. So you're kind of getting those two together, and I think that's where they're kind of putting and really selling on that tangerine aspect of it.
I personally, I'm going to give it a 4 1/4 untapped rating. The thing that my final thought on this beer is that it's a beer that every time you take a sip, you can catch something different. So that's Stone Citrusy Wit. Go to stonebrewing.com and you can find out more about that beer. So Mike, why don't you tell us about Dr. Smash, both the name and sort of the ingredients while I pour a few.
Well, Dr. Smash is definitely one of the my favorite ones so far. I mean, I've got a handful of favorite ones that I get to make, and this one was definitely pretty awesome. The name Smash just is abbreviation for single malt and single hop. So we thought of Smash, what a better name than Dr. Smash PA.
So this beer is 5.4% American Pale Ale style. We use basically just a Cal Ale yeast from White Labs. Pale malt. And Smash is sort of, if you've not heard the term before, Smash is really something that a lot of brewers do to sort of test single ingredients before you build a more complicated recipe.
Yeah.
You test, what's pale malt like on its own.
Right, exactly. What flavor profiles and nuances are you picking up from the pale?
As far as this beer, obviously the color, this is pure pale malt. I don't know if can you see the color, camera? Cool. So this, it's a darker than a two-row, even though you think pale, you think light. I mean, it's technically light.
You think it'd be really, really light,
Yeah.
compared to, you think two-row, you think you'd get a lot of color out of it. You definitely get a nice sweetness from the malt itself. It's not something where it's just like tasting sugar water, because the acidity in the Citra hop definitely does come out and it sits there. So you do get it in the nose as well. So
We dry hopped it. We dry hopped it a fair amount. Sorry to cut you off, but and so you're getting that in the nose. And a lot of people think Citra, it's pure citrus, but it's not. There's a lot of complexity to Citra as a hop. So this pale ale, we're shooting for a little bit of a sort of like a reef donkey profile, maybe like some hop aroma, a little hop on the palate, not overly bitter, something that if you're not an IPA fan, you can drink and enjoy it. And
this is the gateway drug to an IPA.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that.
I mean, if you're not, if you're not an IPA fan, you're not looking out, for anything that's super bitter or has notes of grapefruit or anything like that. This is definitely a good transition to kind of get you warmed up to the idea of a really good IPA.
Yeah, so American Pale Ale, basically it's going to be lower IBUs. In this case, I think we're hitting 40. An IPA might be these days 50 to 100. Double IPA is going to be closer to 100.
Yeah.
But even 40 is sort of pushing it for a traditional pale ale. But in our case, with everything's hop forward these days, so it's sort of normal. So if you're looking for something that has a nice hop profile, which is going to give you like a nice complex smell, and then a little bit of extra flavor besides just the malt on the palate, and pale ale's where it's at. So Untapped Stars, I know it's our own beer, so we're sort of biased, obviously.
I'm super biased by this.
5 out of 5, obviously.
Of course, it has to be a 5 out of 5, yeah.
No, I'm going to say, to be honest, I would say, especially as a first effort, I think this is a solid offering. I would also, I'm going to give this, I think I actually, on Untapped, I gave it 4 1/4, so I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm biased, but it's a good beer. Nice job.
Yeah, I tried.
All right, so now we're going to pause for a minute and get ready for our next segment, which does not have a fancy name yet, but let's just say it involves blindfolds.
And a couch.
I can't even tell if I'm looking at the camera.
I know,
right now.
you're literally, I
make my
can't
best
tell.
guess. So this is the part of the show where we get to have a little bit of fun. So the idea is that Mike and I are both blindfolded. We're going to have a guest participant. In this case, Shawn's going to come. He's purchased a random beer from Winn-Dixie, something you can get at the grocery store. He's going to pour it for us, and then we're going to attempt to guess the style and maybe the manufacturer and maybe even the label itself. We have no idea what they're pouring, so this should be interesting.
Yeah,
this could prove how horrible we know beer.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, you would think.
Horribly.
All right, well, I'm going to come on in.
Make yourself at home.
Open this. Maybe I'll
Are
just...
we in a bottle or a can here?
It's a bottle.
Alright, so
That's a
that
hint.
narrows it down.
Here you go, Mike.
Am I ready?
You're ready? Put your
This is
hand
like a big
up.
tease.
Here you go, Nathan. There you go.
Okay. So here we go. I'm smelling. Well, I'm afraid to give you hints. It's definitely like a spice.
I have a
I've
feeling
had
I
this
know
beer
what this
before.
is. Yeah, I've definitely had this beer before.
But placing it without seeing it, it's totally different.
I already know what it is.
You do?
I do. I'll let you keep struggling, so it's fine.
Do you know the brand and everything?
Mm-hmm. I think I have a really good idea of what this is.
Oh.
I'll sit here and enjoy as you struggle some more.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here again.
Your palate's not as refined as mine.
Yeah, is that what it is?
I can pick
Is that
up
what it
on the
is?
nuances in this one. Nose is really, really good. I give him credit for a really good nose in this beer.
It's like, to me it tastes like pumpkin or pumpkinhead.
I'd say you're close. I think the initial taste that you're getting is playing with you. You got to let it sink for a minute and let it really pass the tongue and hit all the taste buds.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a
Which taste
secondary
buds?
flavor.
Which ones should I let?
Oh, you know which ones. The ones all the way in the back. Actually, no. Probably the ones that are kind of near the middle of the tongue itself, because there's a particular fruit that's going to start picking up soon.
Well, what's your guess? I'm gonna go in a different direction than you anyway.
I'm going to say this is probably Funky Buddha's the blueberry cobbler.
You think?
I think so.
I'm going to call it Shipyard. I forget if it's Pumpkinhead or Pumpkin. I think Pumpkin is the Imperial version. I think it's Pumpkinhead. That's what I'm going to go with. I feel like I'm getting apple. Might even be Applehead.
No, I'm getting I think I'm getting the huge brown sugar notes in it, and then right at the end I'm getting a real subtle blueberry nuance. So
Final answer? Blueberry
that's my
cobbler?
final answer, blueberry cobbler.
All right. Can we unclothe now?
Yeah, do it.
Can we? Oh hell yeah, let's get naked.
Woo!
Take a look.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Blue cinnamon.
Cinnamon horchata.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably why we're getting so much cinnamon flavor.
Ooh, I can't even see a damn
I
thing.
know. I feel blinded by the
Ooh,
light.
blinded by the light. So who's closer, girls? It's
Audience-
Cassie and Liz in the back.
Yeah.
Nathan.
I'd say Nathan seemed close.
Yeah, dude.
All that shit talk too, man.
Oh, don't worry. Well,
It's actually not bad.
I'm definitely picking up a lot of fruits in the end. I mean, you get the cinnamon like literally all the way in the front.
It says cinnamon horchata ale with a subtly sweet yet spiced taste. It's a horrible description, to be
It
honest.
is. You could probably do a whole lot better.
Yeah, of course. In the street markets of Mexico, our founder, I still can't see, and head brewmaster Keith Villa, who knows, first experienced a refreshing, creamy drink known as horchata. Our cinnamon spiced ale is his interpretation of this delicious Latin treat. So, do we have a horchata from Cigar City at one time, man?
We've had Cigar City's horchata, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was a horchata ale, so kind of similar, almost.
So you thought this was a funky Buddha beer, which means you thought it was a decent tasting beer, right?
No, well, not even that. I mean, it's just the cinnamon is so pronounced in it, and a lot of their stuff, like in the blueberry cobbler that was released, that was the first flavor that you got right away.
Yeah.
Was that cinnamon spice?
I did get cinnamon. It's amazing how different it is
Yeah.
when you can't see it.
Yeah.
But super light body.
Yeah.
It's actually I feel bad saying this, but I enjoyed it when I was drinking it. I'm not a huge Shipyard fan. A lot of their stuff tastes like extract to me. However, occasionally, in the fall I'll drink Pumpkinhead. Applehead's a decent beer. This to me tastes a lot like a hybrid between those.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. If I was gonna rate this blindfolded, I probably would have given it 3.75 to 4.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I
Yeah.
concur.
And the only reason I wouldn't go higher, I think it's executed well. The only reason I wouldn't go higher is because it is a style that is sort of sweet. You can't really drink a lot of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you really
So
can't.
this
If
is
you buy a
enough.
6-pack of it, it's going to be really hard to put it down to 6-pack.
You get a couple down and then switch to something
Yeah.
lighter. So it's super light body, but overall lingering sweetness. But still, God, I feel bad. We just admitted liking Blue Moon.
I know. No, you did actually.
Oh.
I did.
All right, well that wraps it up. This has been a fun experiment. We're going to try and do this weekly, I think, and
that's
see
the
what we can
goal,
do.
yeah.
And so stay tuned. I know that's the first inaugural episode. Things are always a little rough around the edges, but we're going to get the kinks worked out. It's been a lot of fun. Any final comments for all day?
No, nothing, man. Definitely got some fun coming up here, but definitely swing by. We're the only brewery here in Apollo Beach, so swing by, have some really good beer, and then you can go visit Manatees.
That's right. It is manatee season?
It is.
No, we're close.
Well,
to
it's
that
always
season.
manatee season here,
That's-
so in a literal way. and a non-literal
It's
way.
manatee season every Friday night with Mike behind the bar.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Peace. And that's Shawn behind the scenes filming live here from Canada.
Hey.
You can say hi, Shawn.
Hi, Shawn.
So, Shawn is actually a co-owner here at Four Stacks, and he's in town to help us get the show rolling.